The crisis in Central African Republic is far from over. Large territories are still controlled by armed groups. Half of the 4.6 million people need humanitarian help. Close to 1 million are displaced. A peaceful election held earlier in the year promised a better future. The violence has since reduced in some cities, including the capital Bangui. But in recent months, fighting has intensified in some areas, and this is worrying many people. When we were here in July, President FAUSTIN-ARCHANGE told us that his government faced a difficult job of disarming armed groups and rebuilding a country that is struggling to get back on its feet. The country has been in a sectarian conflict since a coup in 2013 against the then President Francois Bozize.
Peace is our main priority. As we speak, we have armed groups in the country that we feel need to drop their weapons for us to gain peace. These groups are in the process of disarmament and reintegration. Our military has also been weakened in the last 3 years and needs to be restructured.
A lack of money is making progress hard. Less than a third of close to $500 million needed has been raised by donors this year. Amnesty International says the development agenda being discussed at a European Union-led donor conference in Brussels should go hand in hand with finding ways of holding to account those responsible for human rights abuses, as well as ending impunity in the country.
Of course, there are many, many different problems that need to be addressed. But in terms of justice, obviously, a long-term strategy is to rebuild the national justice system. However, in the short term, what we feel is the best option for accountability is the establishment of a special criminal court. Several steps have already been taken, so it would be a good opportunity for donors to commit to sustain funding for this court and also to nominate qualified candidates to be the international judges and staff of this court.
President TOUADERA says that his priority for the next 5 years is to end violence, strengthen the country's institutions, and reconcile deeply divided communities. But with an upsurge of violence, a worsening humanitarian crisis, and little money, he faces an uphill task. Catherine Soy, Al Jazeera, Nairobi.